So here we are today at the San Pedro Valley Park, which is located approximately 6.5 miles directly south of Skyline College. The simplest and shortest route to get here from Skyline is to go down College Road, then turn left into Sharp Park Road into Francisco Boulevard, and then you travel down the California 1 freeway into Half Moon Bay, and then go into Fassler Road and Terra Nova Boulevard, and past Terra Nova onto Oddstad Boulevard, and it should be directly on the left.
There was this guy back in the 50s when this place was still a trout farm. Name was John Gay. I think this is where they put the water. The water diverges into here, goes into the pond. See? Cause look, whoa! That's the water diverger thing. And so it goes all the way up here, I guess. This is the creek where, as you can see, there's like a little man-made stuff right there. And this was all about the trout farming back in the 50s and the 60s. But then a nasty storm came in and it messed with the whole operation. So they were like, oh snap, we can't do this no more. So there was all like debris everywhere and all that, and so they were like volunteers, workers from the park. They helped clean the place up, and so since the farm wasn't working no more, they just gave it to the San Mateo County in the 70s, and then later on in the 80s, San Mateo County was like, forget it, we'll just make it into a park. And now it's a park. So I think this was like a little tank for the trout. You know, they had a nursery and everything for the trout. And then they threw them in the pond where everybody could fish for them. So, remember how I said about the water being diverged? They had like a little valve, but we couldn't find it. By we, I mean like the camera guy behind it. And so when they did that, the water would come over here and fill it up, right? And then this right here, used to be all like, this is where they put the water. And then over there, I guess, was like the pond, but as you can see, there's a bunch of trees and plants and stuff. We got the eucalyptus leaves, or trees, I said. And yeah, so the pond used to be bigger. People would throw their fish in there and then catch them, I guess, again, and then throw them back and then catch them again. Like, come here, let's look at this sign. Oh. Right here. I was so you see this, like you can see the pond and stuff, see little houses, the stuff, and then you can see here, this is where I believe this is where we're at. You can see how there's nothing, no trees, no nothing. And then here's John Gay just relaxing, catching fish. And then this is where this is how they dump the fish in there. So like 500 trout. You could see, you could catch them like 10 cents per ounce, I guess. That's cool. And then, 1962, big landslide. That's why there's trees and plants everywhere. And then, So the county, San Mateo County, you know, they were like, "Yeah, we'll take the land," you know, because there was debris everywhere. You know, they asked for like volunteers. The rangers over here, they had to work on it, and then that's when San Mateo got all this. And then, you know, it doesn't say here, so around the 70s or 80s, San Mateo County decided to make this whole place a park. And yeah.
Some of the mammals that you can find at the San Pedro Park include some squirrels, some rabbits, and as you can see here, California mule deer. Aren't they so cute? Yeah. They usually hang around in the grassy areas like this, or even sometimes you can find them on the road. So some of the flora that you could find at the San Pedro Park, it includes the western poison oak, some may call it the Pacific poison oak, and you could also find some coyote bush here. But a flower that you could find at the end of one of the trails is the California dandelion. Period. Isn't she so pretty? So there's also large carnivores here at the park. It's actually really interesting because the Felidae Conservation Fund, they installed wildlife cameras all over the park, and with those cameras they've caught animals like bobcats, foxes, pumas, and mountain lions. So if you ever visit the park, make sure to act big and tough whenever you see a mountain lion so you don't get eaten. Another thing about San Pedro Valley Park is that it does protect the mission blue butterfly, which is a federally endangered species. One of its host plants, the varied lupine, is actually present in the area. However, it is not abundant. And the open grasslands that you could see all over the park, that can also be home to the butterflies, but they're also very limited and disturbed.
So something interesting about the San Pedro Valley is that it is a highly diverse ecosystem with different animals and plants. It has many different types of fern and California poppies and also the Montera manzanita. It also has a lot of deer, turkeys, bobcats, and many more animals. It's also a microclimate, and basically a microclimate is when there's an ecosystem that has a very different climate or temperature compared to the surrounding area. For example, it's like really sunny over here compared to the rest of the bay, which is really foggy and cloudy. And something really unique about the area is that it's home to the only waterfall in San Mateo County. It's called the Burks Fall, and it goes to about 200 feet deep. It's a seasonal waterfall, and it's really hard to find. I don't think it's in season right now. But also something really important to note that all of this is on Ohlone land. And so back in 1769, Spanish traveler Gaspar de Portola, he was traveling here with his men trying to find the bay, and it took a long time to find the bay because of how foggy it was. And because it delayed their arrival, they also missed out on all their shipments of food and supplies that would last them for the rest of their journey. And so they had nothing else to go eat from. And so the Ohlone tribe actually helped them get food, supplies, and shelter, so they were ready to travel the rest of the day.
So this area, it used to be a site that enabled the operation of off-highway vehicles. So that includes ATVs, motorbikes, motorcycles, those kind of vehicles. But that lasted for a couple decades. So after that, it created like scars and gullies on the area, and that led to the creation of erosion leading into the San Pedro Creek. And unfortunately, that had impacted steelhead populations, I believe that's how you pronounce it, and California red-legged frogs living in the creek. It also created landslides that could have potentially flown into Highway 1 and the California Coastal Trail area. With all that in mind, with all that historical context, they built this park and all these trails to preserve its ecosystems and all of the wildlife that are living here.